Hi everyone. So the artifact I researched is known as the Flood Tablet, Tablet 11 of the Epic of Gilgamesh, and the material used to create the tablet was clay. The words on the tablet were written using a reed stylus, which carved wedge-shaped characters onto the clay. The style of writing became known as cuneiform. The tablet itself was written by the Mesopotamians who once occupied the countries now known as Iraq, Kuwait, and parts of Syria, Turkey, and Iran. It is unknown who specifically wrote down the epic, but it was written down in the language known as Akkadian, which is an extinct language now, meaning that no one formally speaks it anymore. Knowing that the tablet still exists to this day is proof enough that writing and telling stories were important to the Mesopotamian culture. It's also obvious that the Mesopotamians wanted to prevent making mistakes by trying to preserve their stories in tablets, thanks to the advancement in writing. Also, the Assyrian king Ashurbanipal had in his collection the tablets of the epic, which probably means that such literature were reserved for the elite high-cultured class at that time. In the story of the flood, when E berates Enlil about having killed almost all of humanity, he mentions that only sinners should be punished, which implies that people deserve what's coming to them based on their actions. But when Utanapishtim's story about the flood to Gilgamesh and his test of sleep help Gilgamesh understand something very important. Death is a natural part of mortal life, and since Gilgamesh is part mortal, he must die as all mortals, with the exception of Utanapishtim becoming immortal, do. The Flood Tablet is one part of the Epic of Gilgamesh, often cited as the first great recorded story in history. It's a large influence for stories and epic poems that came after it, even in modern times. The Flood Tablet myth in Tablet 11 is seen by some critics as a direct influence on the Hebrew Bible's flood myth in the book of Genesis, since it shares so many similarities to the former. It also shows what writing was like before pen and paper and how much the world of writing has progressed since reed and clay. Alright guys, that's all I have. Thanks